Checking the picture, looks good. Hello there, Franklin. Going to the Hubert H. Humphrey Dome, are you? How's it going? Just about a minute away from Strat-O-Matic Baseball 1966 replay. And today we're going to wrap up May the 26th on the schedule with the final game of the three-game series featuring the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals. These two teams split the first two, so this is the rubber game. The Metro Barn. Hello, Ben. Was that the one with the baggies? I think it was. What a hideous looking park, at least on TV. I've never been there, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But... yeah, and there's Mike. Greetings, Mike. It's the Friday happy hour game, right? I thought so. Thank you for confirming, Ben. Good pitching matchup today. Lefty Dick Ellsworth for the Cubs, righty Bob Gibson for the Cardinals. And I'll tell you what, both of these teams hoping to get some length out of their starters today. We've got the longest unavailable list I've had. Kuntz and Abernathy unavailable for the Cubs, and Dennis and Simmons unavailable for St. Louis. And again, these are not, I want to emphasize, these are not written in stone. If they ran out of players, I mean, we do what we have to do. But we try our best to not overuse these players. Oh, so you had to throw in a work day, Ben. I was hoping maybe you got the whole Christmas weekend off, but not so. Let's go to our stats now. We can see Ellsworth 4-2 on the year, but with a little bit of a high ERA, 4.99. This will be his 9th start. He has 2 complete games. He's allowed 63 hits in 52 innings, good control, 12 walks to 29 strikeouts. Gibson's numbers, as you would expect, sensational. 6-3 with a 2.59, 9 starts, 5 of them complete games. In 73 innings, just 57 hits allowed with 67 strikeouts, almost a strikeout an inning. Gibson rated 9 for endurance. Ellsworth a 7. So where does that leave the bullpens, you might be thinking, with this many unavailable? Well, let's take a look. Jenkins pitched in this game in real life. The Cubs have Bob Henley, Bill Fall, Billy Heft. Cardinals have their ace, Horner, Larry Jaster, Woodashick, and Stallard. So with these 2 starting pitchers, that should be plenty, at least in theory. And I'm trying to focus my sad old eyes here. Here's the Cubs lineup for today's game. Glenn Beckert leads it off at second base. George Altman will be in left field. Billy Williams is in right, batting third. Ron Santo at third base in the familiar cleanup spot. Ernie Banks back in the lineup at first. Randy Hundley will do the catching. Byron Brown moves over to center field with Don Kessinger at short and Ellsworth hitting 9th. Cardinals in the field will have Tim McCarver behind the plate. Cepeda, Javier, Buchek, and Gagliano in the infield, same as the last game. And Tolan, Flood, and Shannon left to right in the outfield. And with that, we're about ready to get underway here. Bob Engel calls the balls and strikes, just over 12,700. We're in the park for this one in real life. And Gibson ready to go to work. Here's Beckert to lead things off. Glenn Beckert batting .348 so far. No homers, 11 RBIs. Let me play with the lighting. I need all the help I can get today. That kind of shading might be... looks more or less the same. Okay, let's try that one. We're ready to go. Gibson into the windup. There's the pitch. We're underway. It's a 2-10 right-hander. That's a base hit up the middle for Beckert. Double on a 1. He rolls the 5, and that's a single to lead things off. Beckert a star 16 stealer, so let's check the battery now. Gibson a -1 hold. McCarver a -1. That would make Beckert a 14. St. Louis will hold him on at 12, and the batter will be George Altman. Bear with me as I try to focus my vision. Here's Altman. Altman just 8 for 58 so far. It's a 138 average. At least I think it is. I can't even see that clearly. Oh, man. Okay, let me clean these glasses off here. But sorry about this, guys. Bear with me. Wow. 138. No home runs, 9 RBIs. Left-handed batter. Gibson out of the stretch. That's going to be a 3-5 right-handed, and he walks him. First 2 batters aboard here for Chicago. That'll bring up Billy Williams. Williams hitting .296 so far. Leads the club in homers with 9 and 22 RBIs. So Gibson in a little jam right off the bat here. First and second, nobody out. Check of the runners. Here's the pitch to Billy. It's a 3-4. It's a high fly ball to deep right field. Going back is Shannon. At the wall, it's gone. Home run, Billy Williams. And just like that, the Cubs jump out to a 3-0 lead. Let's look at it again. 3-4 to 15. The roll in 11. And for Williams, his 10th home run of the season. I think that puts him now 3rd in the National League in home runs. Let's take a quick look. That ties him with Jimmy Wynn for 3rd in the league. Hank Aaron, of course, in first with 18. Willie Mays with 13. Now we have Wynn and Billy Williams with 10. Still nobody out, and here's Ron Santo. Santo comes in at 380, the club's leading batter. 380 average. 7 home runs and a team leading 32 RBIs. Gibson's pitch is a 2-4 comebacker. Gibson has it. Throws him out for the first out. Here's Banks now. Ernie Banks hitting .252, 3 homers, 16 RBIs. Gibson with the windup. The pitch a 2-12 right-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Tolan's backing up. On the track makes the catch. Another well-hit ball off of Gibson here in the first inning. And with 2 outs, the batter will be Randy Hundley. Hundley hitting .262. 5 home runs, 23 RBIs. Here's the pitch from Gibson now. It's a 2-10 right-hander. That ball is crushed to left center. Going back is Tolan at the track, at the wall, gone. Home run, Randy Hundley. And oh my goodness, the Cubs have absolutely ambushed Bob Gibson here in the first inning on a 2-10 righty. Homer to 18. He rolls to 13. And that's home run number 6 for Hundley. Cubs lead it 4-0. Holy cow, indeed. And welcome to Bill Ivamy. Here's Byron Brown now with 2 down. He's hitting .286, 7 home runs, 22 RBIs. The pitch from Gibson on a 1-4 struck him out. Called strike 3. And that will end the inning. But the Cubs ambush Gibson for 4 runs on 2 home runs. A 3-run shot by Billy Williams, his 10th, and a solo blast by Randy Hundley. And we go to the bottom of the first. Cubs 4, Cardinals coming to bat against Dick Ellsworth. Wow, did not expect that. On any given day, I guess. Let's see what the Cardinals can do now. Julian Javier will lead it off at second. Mike Shannon is in right. Kurt Flood in center field. Orlando Cepeda at first base hits fourth. Phil Gagliano at third. Tim McCarver, the catcher. Jerry Buchek at shortstop. Bobby Tolan in left. And Gibson, the pitcher, hitting ninth. Cubs have Hundley catching. The infield, Banks, Beckert, Kessinger, and Santo. And the outfield, Altman, Brown, and Williams left to right. Ellsworth handed a 4-run lead, ready to go to work here. In steps Julian Javier, hitting just .169 so far on the season. He does have 3 home runs. But a slow start to Julian's season. The left-hander winds and deals. It's going to be a 4-10 right-handed fly ball to center field, playable for Brown. And there's one away. That's going to bring up Shannon, the right fielder. Mike hitting .262, 4 home runs, 8 RBIs. Ellsworth into the windup. It's a 6-8 right-handed base hit into center field for Shannon. Shannon, good base stealer, star 15. So let's check the Cub battery. Ellsworth with a 0 hold. Hundley also a 0. And they'll hold Shannon on, making him a 13. A little bit closer game, we might think about that. But trailing by 4, they're going to let Flood hit away. Flood at .288, 2 homers, 11 RBIs. Ellsworth from the stretch now. Pitch to Kurt Flood is a 4-10 right-handed fly ball into center. Backing up is Brown, and he'll take it for out number 2. That'll bring up Orlando. Cepeda hitting .283 with the Cardinals. 1 homer, 7 RBIs. Let's check his overall numbers here. .248, 3 homers, 16 RBIs. Combined stats. Shannon takes his lead. Ellsworth with the pitch. It's a 4-11 righty. Single up the middle into center field. An open single. Shannon can try to go to third on that. 14 with 2 out, 16. The center fielder, Brown, is a 0. They're going to send him. And the Cubs will wisely cut it off and hold Cepeda to first. Both teams playing it by the book in a 4-0 game, and the batter will be Phil Gagliano. Gagliano just 4 for 25. It's a 160 average. Does not have a home run. Clearly better against left-handers on the card. Here's the pitch from Ellsworth now on a 2-7 single to 12, but on the 20, that liner is speared by a diving Sano at third, and that ends the inning. So a liner to Sano, inning over. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We've played an inning. It's 4-0 Cubs. Yes, sir, Ben. Cubs trying to get to that pen. Both teams really depending on getting some length from their starting pitchers today. Here's Gibson now. Let's see if he settles down a little in the second. It'll be Kessinger, Ellsworth, and Beckert for Chicago. Kessinger hitting .270 so far. No homers, 7 RBIs. A switch hitter hitting lefty against Gibson. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. On a 2-9, it's a ground ball to second base. Javier has it. Flips to Cepeda. And there's one down. Here's Ellsworth now, left-handed batter. 2W. Gibson's pitch on a 4-5, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Gibson looking a bit more focused in the second inning, albeit against the bottom of the order. And here's Glenn Beckert for the second time. He singled his first time up. Gibson gets the sign from McCarver now. Here's the pitch on a 5-8 right-handed. It's a little lazy fly ball into right field. Shannon comes in on it a bit and grabs it for the out. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Gibson. So Gibson's settling down a bit. 4-0 Cubs. We move to the bottom of the second inning. Tim McCarver will start things off for the Cardinals. McCarver, the Cardinals' leading batter, hitting .362 so far. 2 home runs, 16 RBIs. The 16 RBIs, second on the ball club. Who's their RBI leader, you ask? It's Jerry Buchek with 17. He's up next. Left on left. Here's the pitch now, 5-7, swung on and missed, strike 3. McCarver fans. First K for Ellsworth. And here's the aforementioned Buchek hitting .359. 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. Ellsworth into the windup. 3-8 left-handed. It's a double to 3, and that's going to fall and roll to the wall. Altman chasing it down. Buchek rounds and steams into second with a stand-up double. So 3-8 lefty. Wait, no. 3-8, hang on. My bad, I'm sorry. 3-8 lefty is a comebacker to the pitcher. Ellsworth has it and throws him out. I was looking at 3-9. Buchek retired, and hello, Larry Harris. Here's Tolan now. Tolan is 0 for 25 on the season. I'm sitting here shaking my head right now, wondering what the hell he's doing in the lineup against the lefty. Here's Ellsworth delivery now on a 4-8, and Tolan's got his first hit of the year, a single into right field. How about that? Doesn't that just figure? Tolan came in 0 for 25, and they're going to throw that ball in. The bench having a little fun now with Bobby Tolan. Tolan shrugging like to say, what? Me? Right, man, I know. Hello, Kurt Miller. You know, I'll answer that, Kurt. We have had none. It's 38 and cloudy today. Last several days, we're in the 40s. How about you? And welcome to Steve May. How's your snow level, Kurt? Here's Gibson now, 3 with end power. Runner at first, 2 down. We got a die off. That's going to be fouled back by Gibson. That'll be a re-roll as I pick up the die. Ellsworth gets a new ball. Here's the next pitch to Gibson on a 2-5. Struck him out, and that'll do it. 2 Ks in the inning for Ellsworth, 1 hit, 1 left for St. Louis. 2 innings in the books. Still 4-0 Chicago. Teams came in pretty evenly matched in the win-loss column anyway. Cubs 17-18, St. Louis 18-17. Oh, excellent. Even Ben's snow has melted. Well, it sounds like it's pretty mild across the country then. Certainly in Spokane anyway, nothing like the last 2 years. Gibson ready to go to work in the third. Altman to lead things off. He walked his first time. Oh, hell yes, we'll take this. Gibson, the windup and the pitch to Altman. It's a 5-5 lefty. That is a high fly ball to deep right field. Backing up is Shannon on the track, makes the catch. Taking another look at that one. 5-5 lefty, homer to 9. He rolls to 19. It's a loud out to right. Another deep fly ball off of Gibson. Here's Billy Williams now, his 3-run homer, the big blow in the game so far. The pitch from Gibson is a 2-7 fly ball into straightaway center. That's Flood, glides to it almost effortlessly and grabs it for out number 2. 2 out, nobody on. Here's Santo. Santo 0 for 1. Gibson with the windup. Here's the pitch now. It's a 5-9 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. So 7 in a row now retired by Gibson after a rocky first. Cubs still lead it 4-0. As we head into the weekend, it's the Friday happy hour game. I'm looking around for the man who coined the phrase. Don't see him in the chat, at least not yet. Cardinals have the top of the order in the third. Julian Javier to start things off. He's 0 for 1. Ellsworth gets the sign from Hundley. Here's the pitch to Julian on a 6-7 right-handed. It's a grounder to second base X. Tough chance for Beckert. And now we have a chance to bring these into the picture. Beckert 2E26. Here's the roll on a 17. He's got it and throws him out. Yes, indeed. Check it out. I went to FedEx, as someone suggested, and I got these, cut them in half, and got these laminated. So that should make them more Mookie-proof. Oh, hang on a second. You're right about that. Let me bring it back into the picture again because I wasn't looking at it. We can do that. Tilt it up a little bit. Okay, we'll play with that. Well, heck, I didn't think about that, Ben. I still think it's the way to go, but I'll have to watch the glare. Here's Shannon now, 1 for 1. Ellsworth into the windup. Pitch to Shannon. It's a 5-7 righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Third strikeout for Ellsworth. 2 away, and here's Flood. Ellsworth into the windup now. Pitch to Flood on a 5-3 right-hander. It's a grounder to first base X. Tough chance for Banks, a 3-13. Here's the roll on the play. On a 5, he makes the play and throws him out. That's going to go 3-1X, a 1-2-3 inning for Ellsworth. I kind of think the trade-off is worth it. That is to not have to replace these charts. It's the shipping that gets you. Kurt, I saw that, yeah, rest in peace, Gary Sutherland. I just read that, either yesterday or this morning. We go to the fourth inning. Cubs lead at 4-0. It'll be Banks, Hundley, and Brown. Banks 0 for 1. Gibson into the windup now. The pitch to Ernie Banks is a 3-2 right-handed, and he bangs a base hit right up the middle and into center for a single. Leadoff single for Banks. And the batter will be Hundley. Hundley homered his first time up. Gibson working from the stretch now. The pitch to Hundley is a 4-7 right-handed, and he loses him ball 4. And Gibson in trouble again here in the fourth. First and second, nobody out. Byron Brown due. Kessinger on deck. Gibson staring in to get the sign now. The pitch to Brown is a 3-6 right-handed, and he draws the walk to load the bases. Oh my goodness. So Gibson certainly having his issues today. A single and 2 walks here in the fourth, and the Cubs have the bases loaded with nobody out. And the batter will be Kessinger. And here comes the pitching coach out to the mound. Now McCarver goes out there. Buchek, Javier come in. Engel says, break it up, fellas. Gibson ready to go to work now. Bases loaded. Full windup, and the pitch to Kessinger. 5-7 left-handed, swung on and missed. Strike 3, big strikeout. But that's only the first out of the inning. Ellsworth, the batter. Let's check his bunting rating. He's a B. Runner at third, however, Banks, a 1-9. Pretty much eliminates the squeeze play. And Ellsworth will swing away. A left-handed hitting pitcher. That's a 2-7. Struck him out. So Gibson fans 2 with the bases loaded, and it will be up to Beckert. Beckert a bit tougher to strike out than those 2 gentlemen. And here's Gibson's windup now, and the pitch to Beckert on a 1-2, and he hits him. That's going to cause a run to score. Oh my goodness, Beckert plunked by Gibson. He'll get an RBI on that as Banks scores. Hundley to third, Brown to second. Yes, indeed, Ben. Painful way to earn a ribby. Gibson, his expression has not changed one bit. You have to think that was not intentional with the bases loaded. And now the batter will be George Altman. Altman 0 for 1 with a walk. Gibson into the windup. The pitch to Altman on a 2-6 righty. Pops him up right side. That's going to be Cepeda making the play. And Gibson gets out of that cheaply enough. 1 run, 1 hit. The Cubs leave the bases full. And they lead at 5-0 going to the bottom of the fourth. almost every day now, Rick. You are right. Also, in the world of rock and roll. Or just music in general, you could say. You know, Bill, I'd forgotten all about the Pete Lecoq, Peter Marshall connection. Thank you for reminding me. I'd heard that before, but I'd forgotten all about it, in all honesty. Okay, bottom of the fourth. Cardinals trying to get off the deck here. Cepeda to lead it off. He singled his first time up. Ellsworth with the sign now, the windup and the pitch on a 1-8 left-handed. It's a base hit into left field, solidly stroked line drive, and Cepeda 2 for 2. Cepeda a star 15 stealer. 0 battery, he'll be held at 13. Good base stealing numbers for a 1 through 11 runner. And here's Gagliano now, 0 for 1. Ellsworth working from the stretch. 6-8 right-handed, and he singles into center field. An open single. Cepeda can try to go to third. 1 through 11 probably won't. That is to center. Brown a 0. 11 to third, no. They'll hold him at second. Back-to-back singles, the Cardinals have something going here against Ellsworth. First and second, nobody out, and McCarver due up. Jerry Buchek on deck. And welcome to Demos Dave. Glad to have you. Good crowd on hand for this one. First and second, nobody out. McCarver will swing away as soon as I locate the die I just dropped. The pitch from Ellsworth is a 1-9 left-handed, and that's going to be a triple to 8 on a 10. He'll settle for a single, 2 stars, and the Cardinals are on the board. Cepeda comes in to score. Gagliano all the way to third. And 3 consecutive St. Louis hits make the score 5-1. Three straight hits off of Ellsworth. That's going to send Randy Hundley out to the mound. I know, Rick. I saw him in the stands on a TV broadcast this year. He still looks amazing. Okay, the meeting on the mound broken up now. Buchek, the hitter. Leading by 4, the Cubs will play it at double play depth. Ellsworth from the stretch. The pitch to Buchek on a 3-7. He rips one over the third base bag and into the corner and left. Altman over to pick it up. Gagliano can walk home. McCarver can try to score. 12. Altman a +1. 13. With nobody out, they'll hold him up. And suddenly things are getting interesting here. It's a 5-2 game. Runners at second and third, still nobody out. And here's Tolan. Tolan, who delighted the fans with his first hit of the season in the second inning. Still playing back, trying to stay out of the big inning. Left on left. The pitch to Tolan on a 1-9. It's a ground ball to second base. Beckert has it. Throws to Banks as the run crosses the plate. Everybody moves up on the ground ball C, and it's a 5-3 game. Tolan gets an RBI on that one. Another first for Bobby. First out of the inning now. Gibson an A bunter. Now the Cubs will pull the infield in. Runner on third, 1 out. Gibson will swing away. The pitch from Ellsworth is a 5-7 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So a big strikeout for Ellsworth. his fourth of the game. And it will be up to Julian Javier. Javier 0 for 2. 5-3 the score now. Ellsworth into the windup. Pitch to Julian. It's a 4-8 right-handed. It's an RBI single up the middle for Javier, and it's a 5-4 game all of a sudden. Buchek scores. If you missed the start of the broadcast, both teams need length out of their starters. Each team has 2 relievers on the unavailable list for this game. Javier at first, he's got speed, star 16. He'll be held at 14. He's the tying run with 2 outs. And Shannon at the plate, he's going to try for that lead, 2 through 5 or 11. 4, he's got the lead. The pitch to Shannon. There goes Javier to 14. Hundley's throw down there. He's stolen it. For Julian Javier, his first steal of the season. How about that? And you're not kidding, Franklin, how quickly things can change. Cubs led this one 5-0. Now it's 5-4 with a tying run in scoring position. And here's the next pitch to Shannon. 1-7. He loses him ball 4. Ellsworth walks Shannon. And the Cardinals will bat around here in the 4th. Holy cow. They've got 3 lefties and a righty. Tracy Stallard, the lone righty. And yeah, do you really want to bring in Tracy Stallard in this situation? I don't think so. First and second, 2 down. Here's Flood. Ellsworth ready to go. Here's the pitch to Flood now on a 6-7. It's a grounder to second base edge. Tough chance for Beckert. 2E26. Here's the roll on the play. It's an 11. That's the E rating. It'll be a 7 on a 26, and it'll be an error on Glenn Beckert, and that'll load him up. Holy cow. So a wild 4th here. In a 5-4 game with the bases loaded, Orlando Cepeda steps up to the plate. Ellsworth getting the sign. The windup, the pitch to Orlando. A 4-6 right-handed, swung on and missed. Strike 3. And Ellsworth escapes with at least part of the lead. So he singled and scored. And then he struck out to end it. I'm going to combine those boxes to make it easier on myself. I should be able to figure that out. Cardinals get 4 runs on 4 hits. There was an error. And after 4 innings of play, it's a 5-4 game. Certainly not going as advertised, this game. Expected a great pitcher's duel here today. Anything but. Just goes to show you never can tell. We go to the 5th inning in a wild one here in St. Louis. Williams, Santo, and Banks, the heart of the Chicago order, due up. Billy, 1 for 2, a 3-run homer. Gibson ready to go to work now. Here's the windup and the pitch to Williams on a 1-3 grounder to first base. That's Cepeda. He'll take it to the bag, 1 down. Here's Santo now. Ron 0 for 2. Gibson into the windup. It's a 2-6 right-handed. It's a high fly ball crushed to deep left field. Tolan starts back and just turns around and watches it fly. Home run, Santo. 2-6 righty to 15. He threw the 1. No doubt about it, shot. Santo's 8th home run of the year. And the Cubs get a run back. That makes it 6-4. Here's Banks now. Gibson into the windup. The pitch to Ernie Banks is 4-7 right-handed. He walks him. Both pitchers continuing to struggle here today. The batter will be Hundley, homered and walked. Shout out to Michael and Kevin. Gibson staring in now from the stretch. The pitch to Hundley is a 3-5 right-handed, called strike 3. Bob Engel rings up Randy Hundley. And with 2 outs, it will be up to Byron Brown. Gibson with the pitch. It's a 2-3 right-handed lazy fly ball into right. Shannon drifting over and grabs it for the final out. The Cubs tack on a run on the Santo solo blast. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 6-4 Cubs. Ten runs scored so far in what was billed as a pitcher's duel. And yeah, the over's getting paid out today. What do you think it was in 66? I'm thinking probably something like 6.5. Maybe less than that. All right, let's see if Dick Ellsworth can settle down now in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Gagliano, followed by McCarver and Buchek. Gagliano 1 for 2 today. Ellsworth into the windup. Pitch to Phil is a 6-8 right-hander, and he bangs a single up the middle. Gagliano 2 for 3. Not a star seat stealer. He's a 13, not being held. And here's McCarver. McCarver 1 for 2. Ellsworth from the stretch now. Pitch to McCarver, a 3-6, pops him up right side of the infield. It's Becker making the catch. 1 away. Runner holds. And the batter will be Jerry Buchek. Buchek 1 for 2, a double. Ellsworth checks the runner. Now comes to the plate. 2-11 left-handed. He bangs a single the other way into right field. Gagliano rounding. 11-13. Billy Williams +1, 14. They're going to cut it off. With Buchek being the tying run, they cut it off and hold him to first base. And the batter is Bobby Tolan. The day of firsts for Bobby, his first hit of the season in the 2nd, his first RBI of the season in the 4th. Cubs pull the infield in. Buchek not a threat to run. Left on left. The pitch to Tolan on a 3-8. It's a ground ball to second B. That's going to be a forced play. They're going to get the lead runner. Let me double check that. Batter is safe. The leading runner is out. So a ground ball to second. Beckert throws home and nails the runner. Nails the runner Gagliano. That's going to go as a 4-2 force. Buchek to second. There's two away. And Gibson the hitter. With the bullpens strapped here, Bill, no thought of even pinch hitting for Gibson in the fifth inning. The pitch from Ellsworth is a 5-3 right-handed. It's a grounder to first base X. Tough chance for Banks, a 3-13. Here's the roll on the play on a 6. He's got it. Flips to Ellsworth covering, and that will do it. That's a 3-1 X. Side retired. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. The infield in came up big in that inning for the Cubs. We've played 5. It's 6-4 Chicago. Intensity appears to be high on both benches for this one, and Gibson didn't help that any by plunking Beckert in the 4th. With both pens short-handed today, both teams really needing some length out of their starters. The Cubs will send Kessinger, Ellsworth, and Beckert to bat here in the 6th. Gibson getting the sign now. There's the pitch to Kessinger. It's a 5-11 left-handed, a fly ball to right field X. Shannon, a good outfielder. 2E5. Here's the play. On a 15, he makes a nice running catch for the out. And is that helping any with seeing the chart, Ben? Or anyone, for that matter? I'm trying to tilt it up a little bit to so that the glare doesn't come through. Cubs also need length out of Ellsworth, so he'll bat. Left-handed hitter on a 4-8, swung on and missed, strike 3. It's the hat trick for Ellsworth as he goes down on strikes for the 3rd time today. I can tilt it. I can bring it in like this so the glare just hits the top of the screen. I can see the reflection now if I'm looking for it. Here's Beckert with 2 down. It was about $14, Bill. A little high, I thought, but well worth it. Considering the shipping on our new chart alone is $17. Approximately. Can see Beckert's ABs. Can't. Oh, you can't? Anyone else having that problem? Scroll your screen up, Kevin. I think it might be that might be what it is. Beckert's 1 for 2 was plunked in the 4th, with the bases loaded no less. Here's Gibson's pitch on a 6-4 righty. It's a grounder to short X. Hold your breath, however. That's Buchek. Buchek of 4E56. Here's the play. It's going to be a 6, and he's not going to get to that one. That's through into left for a base hit. Two out single for Beckert. Minus 214. He'll be held at 12. And the batter will be Altman. Ben, I think he meant he couldn't see these boxes here. The results for Beckert. Runner at first, 2 down. Gibson from the stretch bar. The pitch to Altman is a 2-11. It's a high fly ball to right field. Going back is Shannon on the track, hauls it in, and Altman almost got that one out of here. We'll take another look at it. 2-11 right-handed, a homer 2-11. He rolled the 17, and Gibson escapes the inning unscathed. For the Cubs, no runs to hit, 1 left. Excellent. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. And greetings to Mike. Hello, Mike. How you doing? Bottom of the 6th, top of the order for St. Louis. 6-4 Cubs. Exactly. Yep. Javier 1 for 3. Ellsworth into the windup now. The pitch to Hooligans, a 4-6 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. And that's now what, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks for Ellsworth. Double check that. 3, 4, 5, 6. Excuse me. 6th strikeout for Ellsworth, and here's Mike Shannon. Shannon 1 for 2 with a walk. Ellsworth gets the sign from Hundley. Here's the pitch on a 3-10 left-hander. He lifts one the other way to right field. Billy Williams is there, and he grabs it for out number 2. And 2 down, the batter, Kurt Flood. Flood 0 for 3 today. Ellsworth gets the sign now. Here's the pitch to Flood. 6-10 right-handed. Fly ball to straightaway center. Brown backing up a bit and hauls it in to end the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Dick Ellsworth. 6 innings in the books. It's 6-4 Cubs. No game tomorrow. I'll be back on Sunday. When we will move on to May the 27th on the schedule. Tomorrow, taking Mom out to lunch. Worked her butt off to prepare a wonderful Christmas dinner. Okay, we're set to go to the 7th. Neither pitcher particularly sharp, but both hanging in there. Heart of the order for Chicago. Billy Williams will start it off. He's 1 for 3 with a home run. Gibson gets the sign from McCarver. The pitch to Billy Williams on a 4-2 lefty. It's a ground ball wide to second, fielded by Javier. Throws to Cepeda, 1 out. Here's Santo now. Santo standing in 1 for 3 with a home run. One of 3 Cub homers today. Gibson's pitch is a 1-7 right-handed. It's a double to 4 on a 16. He'll settle for the long single. Santo rounds and holds at first. And that'll bring up Ernie Banks. Banks 1 for 2 with a walk. Gibson working from the stretch yet again. The pitch to Ernie. He fouls it back. We got one off the table. Gibson getting a new ball. Rubs it up, gets the sign. Here's the next pitch to Ernie. On a 3-3 right-handed, he walks him. Gibson in trouble again in the 7th. First and second one out. And the batter will be Hundley. Hundley has a home run in this game. 1 for 2 with a walk. Gibson checks the runners. Here's the pitch now to Hundley on a 5-11 right-handed. It's a fly ball to right field X. That's going to be Shannon. Shannon a 2-5 racing towards the line. On a 15, he makes the catch for the out. Two away, and it's up to Byron Brown now. Brown 0 for 2 with a walk. Gibson studying the signs. The pitch to Brown is a 4-10 right-handed. It's a fly to center field X. Dice roll of formality. Flood a 1-0. On a 13, he makes a nice running catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit, 2 left as we stretch for the 7th. Cubs leading it 6-4. Hey, we'll check in on the Mookie cam. I think he's out of it in the skybox. Or no, he's looking at something. There he is. Hey there, Mookie. Says that's all. That's all I'm going to give you. As we stretch, I'm going to refill my cup. Take just a brief intermission here. So yeah, the jury out, I guess, on the lamination. I'm not sure what I think about it either. I didn't think about the glare. Certainly more cost-effective for me than buying charts, as this is now the 3rd advanced fielding chart in this replay. I did buy an extra one this time, however, so I have one more. Okay, here we go to the bottom of the 7th. First inning of potential fatigue for Dick Ellsworth, who appears to have been flirting with it all day. And the Cardinals are going to send up Cepeda, Gagliano, and McCarver. Or you can scan it to a PDF. Printer replacement. That's a thought. Would you have to cut it in 2 to do that, Ben? I would think so. Probably can't scan the laminated one, right? They'll create the same issue of glare. I do have a scanner, but obviously at its full length, this would not fit on there. but could do it in sections the way I've done here. Here's Cepeda now, 2 for 3 on the day. Ellsworth ready to work. Here's the pitch to Orlando on a 6-7 right-handed. It's a grounder to second base X. Beckert will be tested again. 2E26, and here's the result of that play as he ranges to his left on a 4. Diving stop to his feet, throws him out. It's a web gem by Glenn Beckert. 4-3X exclamation point as Beckert robs Cepeda of a sure base hit. And the batter will be Gagliano. Big play there by Beckert. Phil 2 for 3 today. The pitch from Ellsworth is a 4-3 right-handed. That's a grounder to third base X. That's the Gold Glover Santo. A 1E27. Here's the play. On a 1, diving stop at the line. Throws across in time. Oh my goodness, what a play by Santo. 5-3X exclamation, another web jam, and the Cubs flashing the leather here in the 7th. Ron Santo robs Phil Gagliano of a sure base hit. Ellsworth nodding to Santo. Here's McCarver now. Left on left. He comes in with a 5-6. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Number 7 for Ellsworth. And 1-2-3 go the Cardinals in the 7th. As far as length goes, both pitchers have done their job. They've gotten their teams into the 8th inning. Ellsworth now has retired 8 in a row. And the Cubs will send Kessinger, Ellsworth, and Beckert up in the 8th against Gibson. Kessinger standing in from the left side. Here's the pitch to Bob Gibson now on a 4-9 left-handed. He walks him. Leadoff walk to Kessinger. How many walks is that for Gibson now? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's his 6th walk, and he hit a man. Kessinger at 13. Ellsworth a B bunter. They're going to bring the infield in, and he's going to lay it down as a C. That's going to be 6C, and it's a successful sacrifice bunt for Ellsworth. Ellsworth moves the runner along, and now here's Beckert. Beckert 2 for 3 today. Gibson getting the sign. Here's the pitch to Beckert now. It's a 5-9, swung on and missed, strike 3. And for Gibson now, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th strikeout for Gibson. And the batter will be Altman. Altman 0 for 3 with a walk. Gibson staring in. Here's the pitch on a 1-3, ground ball to second base, playable for Javier. Throws him out, and the side is retired. Going to the bottom of the 8th now. Checking the Cubs bench. Ty Klein is going to replace Altman. He'll take over in center field. And Brown will move to left. So did you cut yours in half, Ben, before you scanned them? I would think you'd have to. No, so you fit the whole thing. Did you have it done? I don't think the whole chart will fit on my scanner. Oh, turned them, okay. Oh, excellent. That would be even better. Thank you, Ben. And then you print them on cardstock. Send me the details on that, if you would, please. What kind of stock do I need to buy? For the Cardinals, trailing by 2, it's going to be Buchek. After that, we'll see. Probably 2 pinch hitters. Buchek 2 for 3 on the day. Ellsworth into the windup now. It's a 2-5 left-handed. Called strike 3. Strikeout number 8 for Ellsworth. And now the Cardinals looking to the bench. Going to send up a hitter for Bobby Tolan, and that's going to be Lou Brock. Lou Brock pinch hit in this game in real life. He'll come on here and replace Tolan. Let's see Brock on the season hitting .258, 3 homers, 13 RBIs. Left on left, Ellsworth winds and deals on a 1-8, called strike 3. Home plate umpire rings up Brock. That's K number 9 for Ellsworth. Now we'll have a batter for Gibson. Let's see who it's going to be. Charlie Smith will be the hitter. Smith hitting .316 on the season, 2 homers, a dozen RBIs. The pitch from Ellsworth is a 5-6 righty, a grounder to short. It's Kessinger, throws him out, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Ellsworth. That's 11 in a row now retired by Ellsworth, who in the early going didn't look like he was ever going to make it this far. And the Cardinals will need a new pitcher. For Gibson, a subpar performance for Bob Gibson today. 8 innings. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. 6 runs. The walks were what's really surprising. 3, 4, 5, 6 walks. Let's count those again. 1, 4, 5, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts. Six to 4 games, so still a close game. And the Cardinals are going to call on Larry Jaster. Jaster 3-1 on the season, 1.87. The lefty will be facing the heart of the Chicago order here, Williams, Santo, and Banks. And I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for watching. Game 366, wow. Here's Billy Williams now. He's 1 for 4, 3-run homer in the first. Left on left, Jaster comes in there with a 6-9 lefty, swung on and missed, strike 3. Jaster fans Williams. Here's Santo, 2 for 4 with a home run. Welcome to Kelly. Cubs lead by 2 here. Here's the pitch to Strat-O. It's going to be a 5-8 right-handed fly ball to right field and playable. Shannon backing up a bit and hauls it in. And here's Ernie Banks with 2 down. Banks 1 for 2, walked twice. Jaster into the windup. It's a 1-9 lefty, pops him up on the left side. Buchek will take it, and it's a 1-2-3 ninth for Larry Jaster. We go to the bottom of the ninth. The Cubs leading 6-4. Ellsworth trying to go all the way here. All right-handed batters. And Fergie Jenkins takes the jacket off and begins to toss in the Cub bullpen. Remember, Abernathy and Kuntz unavailable today. For the Cardinals, it will be the top of the order. Javier, 1 for 4. Ellsworth gets the sign from Hundley now. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a 110 left-handed. It's a double to 16 on a 17. He will settle for the long single. That'll get the tying run to the plate. Star 16 held at 14. And here's Shannon. And now Jenkins warming up with a little more urgency. Hundley taking a trip out to the mound. Ellsworth nodding. Hundley back into the crouch now. Ellsworth from the stretch. The pitch to Shannon is a 5-9 right-handed, and that is a high fly ball to left center. That's going to be off the wall for extra bases. Double for Shannon. Javier can try to score on that. 16, center is Klein, +1, 17. Shannon a 14. They're going to send him. Here he comes, and the Cubs will cut off the throw and hold Shannon at second. So that'll be an RBI double for Shannon, and it's a 1-run ball game. And here comes DeRocher. He's not even going to wait for Ellsworth to fatigue. It would take one more hit or walk to fatigue him, but he's going to Jenkins right here with Cepeda at the plate. With Flood at the plate, Cepeda to follow. So that's it for Ellsworth. 8 plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 hits. 5 runs so far. He walked only 1 in stark contrast to Gibson and struck out 9. And here's Jenkins. Michael says send him. Kevin says let him score. Absolutely. That was pretty textbook, really. Jenkins warming up. It'll be Flood at the plate. Cepeda on deck. 6-5 Cubs. Shannon with decent speed out there. He represents the tying run at second. And here's Curt Flood. Jenkins ready to work now. Jenkins' numbers on the season. 2-2, a pair of saves, 3.99, as he's ready to go here against Curt Flood, who's 0 for 4 on the day. Jenkins a check of the runner. Here's the pitch to Flood. It's a 2-7 righty. It's a grounder to short, fielded by Kessinger, looks the runner back and throws him out. And that's the first out. Here's Cepeda now with Gagliano to follow. Cepeda 2 for 4. Thinking about this one here. If they walk him, you've got Gagliano and McCarver, and they're going to put Cepeda on. So it's going to be 4 wide ones to Cepeda. Normally you would not do that. You're absolutely right, Bill. But if I'm the Cubs, I'd rather face Gagliano against the righty, hope for the double play. Cepeda, the big threat in the lineup. Okay, first and second, 1 away. Jenkins checks the runners. Pitch to Gagliano on a 1-10. That is going to be ripped over the third base bag and down into the corner. That's going to end up being a triple, and the Cardinals walk it off. A 2-run triple for Gagliano on a 1-10. He rolls the 3. The intentional walk backfires, and the Cardinals pull it out. Listen to that crowd. Holy cow. So the Cubs give up a 5-0 lead. The Cardinals end up winning it 7-6. I don't even believe it myself. The daily triple is the game-winning triple. Phil Gagliano, of all people. Gagliano, there's Jeremiah. Gagliano, my Pisano. I like that. Jasper ends up getting the win. Jenkins takes the loss. Getting the totals together here. Jaster 4-1 now. For Fergie Jenkins, 2-3. Six runs, 5 earned for Ellsworth. Jenkins a third of an inning. There it is. I'm laughing at Bill's comment. Yeah, we used to call those a dice thrower when I was younger, Bill. I tell you, the most dramatic thing I ever saw was a tournament I was at where a guy actually set a player's card on fire in an ashtray. It was in the late 80s in San Diego. The Cardinals in winning, 7 runs on 13 hits. There was an error, I just didn't write it in. No errors for St. Louis. The Cubs, 6 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Player of the game, Phil Gagliano. 3 hits, including a walk-off triple. And then had to reorder that one car. Yeah, exactly. I wish I could remember the name of the player. I really do, but I've forgotten long ago. Michael Reimer. Thanks, everybody, for being here for this one. What a wild game. Certainly not what we anticipated, was it? I will not be here tomorrow, and I'll be back with you on Sunday when we move on to May the 27th. And we'll get to see the Cubs again. They go home. Atlanta Braves come in. Braves and Cubs. It's Blasingame versus Brolio. That was definitely fun. I'm questioning my move of walking the winning run. On the other hand, assuming things were the same, of course. Triple ties it. Now you've got Gagliano at third base for the winning run and still 1 out. Maybe not. Maybe there could be 2 outs. Let's say Cepeda made an out. I don't know. It doesn't do any good to play what if, I suppose. Took our shot. It didn't work out. I'll leave it at that. And I'll leave the rest of you to think about that one as I go get something to eat. Well, thanks again for watching. I want to wish everybody a fantastic weekend. Take care, everyone. So long for now. Wow, Dr. Jeffrey Guterman, an unboxing marathon. Well, I'll be sure to check that out, Jeffrey. Bye, everybody.